Picking right up where we left off, we are on, we're talking about Deuteronomy 28 and 49, about the nation that will come against the children of Israel as swift as the eagle flieth. And let's read that again. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. And hold Obadiah because we're going back.
Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle fly. Now that's a key word right there. We got to find out what nation or nationality is this talking about that is as swift as the eagle flieth. Read verse 1 and then jump to 4 in Obadiah.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning in Edom.
Concerning Edom. Edom is the father of the so-called white race. The reason why we're calling them so-called white race, jump to verse 4. Jump to verse 4 in Obadiah. Verse 4.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Though the white race exalts themselves as the eagle, his pride have deceived thee. And the reason why we call them the so-called white race, hold Deuteronomy, you can drop Obadiah and go to Genesis 25 and start at verse 23. Now there's a reason why we say so-called white race. Why? It's because if you look at my shirt, and you look at his shirt, my shirt is white. No man upon this earth is white. You're going to find out that the Most High never called the so-called white race white. Let's see what he called them. Read Genesis 25 and 23.
And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb.
See, proven to you that the word nation is not talking about a place. It's talking about a nationality. The Lord said unto Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, two nations are in thy womb. Was he telling Rebekah that two places are in your womb? Or is he said two nations, as in two manner of people? Read on, Ak.
Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Shall be separated from thy bowels. Read on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And the one people shall be stronger, physically stronger than the other people. Read on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder child shall serve the younger. Let's see which child is the elder child. Read on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. You're going to find out that the so-called white race is hairy all over like a red garment, or red all over like a hairy garment, meaning the blood showeth forth through the skin. You don't believe me? Make a so-called white person mad. You're going to see them get so red they turn purple. But like I was saying, read that part again, that last part.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
The so-called white man, who the Most High calls the red man, came out red all over like a hairy garment. If you don't, if they never invented razors or clippers, the so-called white man will be walking around looking like a werewolf. Read on, Ak.
And they called his name Esau.
And they called his name what?
Esau.
Esau, meaning wasted away or famished. Because when he was born, he didn't have no skin pigmentation. Read on, Ak.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
And after that, the second came out, and they called his name Jacob. Now, the reason why it doesn't describe the appearance of Jacob is because Jacob looked just like everybody else who was on the scene. He looked just like his father Isaac, his mother Rebekah, his grandfather Abraham, his grandmother Sarah. They all looked alike. But for some reason, This first guy came out different than anybody else who ever dwelled on the earth. You're going to find out that the older twin is the father of the so-called white race. Now, jump back to Deuteronomy 28 and read verse 49 one more time.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. From
the Lord shall bring a nationality against thee from afar. Read.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth, we know that is a direct prophecy to the so-called white man, who the Most High calls the red man. Read on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose tongue we shall not understand. Why? The so-called Negro, West Indian, and Haitian were speaking Hebrew when they got to the shores of America. Now drop that, and let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
There we go again. Another prophecy. Same as we read in 36. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, and you shall serve other gods, even wood and stone. Why is he saying the same thing again? Like I said earlier, Israel is a rebellious, stubborn, stiff-necked nation. The wood representing the cross for Christianity, the stone representing the Kaaba stone in Islam. Those are the two foreign gods that we were subject to under these captivity of these nations. What verse you at, Ak?
65.
Jump down to 68. Let's get straight to it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. What so-called nationality went into captivity with ships? You guessed it. The so-called Negro, West Indian, and Haitian. Read that part from the top again.
And the Lord shall bring thee again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. The word Egypt right there does not mean the landmass that we call Egypt today. It means bondage. How do we know this? It's a Greek word that means bondage. Go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.